Hey everybody, welcome to Mike's American Flyer Trains. Thanks for tuning in. I'm kind of due, actually overdue, for a layout update. Last layout update I did was in October, before the Fall York in 2024. And I've been doing a lot of shorts and posting those on YouTube, but it's time to do a layout update. So join me and we'll take a look at everything that's taken place on the layout since last October. All right, well, we've made a lot of progress on the layout since last October, especially down here in the entire center of the layout. Last October, when I did a layout update, I didn't have any ground cover whatsoever down the middle of the layout. I was still trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. And although it's not finished with exactly what I want to do, it's come together very nicely, creating a nice town. So I'm calling this street Cromwell Street for where my grandmother used to live in Orbezonia, Pennsylvania. And I've gotten some buildings to create a town center. And some of these buildings came off of eBay sellers. Some of them came from, I think it's called NH Model Works. And they were a lot of fun putting together. The ones you see here have all been added since last fall. And I have those lit with Woodland Scenic's Just Plug LED lighting. That seems to work very well. Over here, you may remember I had 3 station passenger platforms. I decided to take one off and allow some more space in there and open it up a little bit. And I really like how that's turned out so far. I've also done additional work in scenery. Over here next to the bubbling water tower, I've added some more trees, and I tried to do some static grass. This was a first attempt. It came out okay. I created this hillside over on the other corner of the layout to kind of carry the layout visually into the backdrops that I have on that wall. I'm really pleased with how that turned out. And then down through here, I've added more color, tried some more static grass here on the corner. This came out a little bit better, as well as over on that corner. I've added that Lionel Aircraft rotary beacon. That's a new ad. I've placed the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey lighted and whistling billboard on this corner, as well as Sam the Semaphore Man. So the street I have placed right now, I still need to weather that, and I think I'm just going to use some dry weathering dust and powder to do that. And this will be, if you will, a town square. That little monument right now is just a placeholder, but I'm looking to get a buddy of mine to create a more appropriate sized monument and make that a town square, kind of like a Civil War monument, if you will. Over here, I fenced this area off and I've turned it into a dog park, or a dog walk, if you will, for anybody who's at the station with their dogs. I added some benches, added some pooches in there. So I think that's turned out pretty good as well. Going around the perimeter, or the outside of the layout, if you will, I've got quite a few different backdrops. That's new. I have that actually hanging from the clothesline. So you can see it adds quite a bit of depth to that end of the layout. Those I've had up previously, so nothing new there. That's a newer one. I have that on one of those freestanding privacy screens, so I can move that at will around the layout. And then back here, I've got other backdrops. And between all the backdrops I have, I can actually go through the various seasons. I've got spring and summer and fall and winter. So it really gives me the opportunity to set the season and the mood for videos I'm making. I've got some trees placed here right now, just temporarily. I want to get a feel for if I like those there or not. And if I do, I'll go ahead and take the bases off and we'll get those sunk into the foam board. So a view down Cromwell Street, I've went ahead and cut the bases off of these telephone poles and sunk them down into the foam board, make them more permanent. Again, need to weather the street. especially in front of the gas station and down by the town square or town circle, whatever that turns out to be. So it's all coming together very nicely. Another thing I added is the privacy uh, around the bottom, for lack of a better term. I got this idea from Jeremy of Sedano Trains, and he did the same thing. So what he did is he took twin size bed sheets, and if you cut them in half, they're the appropriate length to actually hang around the layout. And I used double-sided Velcro to get those on the layout. So that works very well. Big shout out to Jeremy for that. I appreciate it. Mike of Mad Trains, he's been a big help too. He actually was able to get me a Cab 2 remote. So that's made a lot of fun, pairing that up to the Base 3 and being able to manage my TMCC and legacy locomotives with that. A lot of fun. And a couple more shout outs. I want to make sure I include Bobby from CWF Trains and Caleb from Caleb Easter Trains. They've been huge in helping me and encourage me with scenery and effects and so forth. So all of you, Caleb and Bobby and Jeremy and Mike, thank you for all of your help and your support in all the progress that I've actually been making here. So yeah, that's kind of where everything is right now. It's, like I said, it's a lot from last October, but it's a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying it, and I hope you're enjoying it too. Thanks a lot for staying with me. I appreciate you tuning in and joining me on this layout update. Let's go ahead and get some trains running around the layout. Thanks again, everybody. I appreciate your time and tuning in.
So much motherfucking going on right now. Bring it down, bring it down, nigga. Come out of that dirty old bastard. Bitches on the line.